I know that we are still officially in winter, but let's start thinking aspirational. Let's start thinking about our landscaping. Let's start thinking Frank Ferragine's in the house.
I'm good. You know what? Life is good. Life is exciting. There's always so many different things going on. Life is colorful. I just finished off hosting the Landscape Ontario Awards of Excellence.
Yes.
Where we award some of the greatest professionals in the industry, and some of the projects that are happening right now are just remarkable.
Now, you've got a good yard yourself. I mean, you've got a beautiful home, and obviously you have to keep it at a certain level because look at your career, right? People will be like, oh my gosh, look at his flower bed, it's awful, and he's the flower guy.
They judge you. People judge you, yes. They do.
So it's beautiful, but then when there's sort of this next level out there, and I think it's really nice to look for aspiration and inspiration from some of the top winners out there and look at the big trends when it comes to landscaping, because now's the time to start the planning and the thinking about it.
And finding a good professional, finding a good contractor. So, you know, when it comes to trends, one of the #1 trends is using natural materials.
Right.
And what I mean by natural materials is we live in this wonderful province of Ontario, and also right across the country. There are so many different elements that we can take from the natural landscape and put it in, and so many different hardscape items. So if you take a look, that's a natural square cut flag just put into the lawn that's there. Just a really nice, simple but formal, but taking a natural element and blending it together. Even the use of steps. So if you look at the next picture that we have as well, using natural stone as steps, this makes a landscape, even if it was a brand new landscape, look like it's been there forever. You can find stones out there that have some moss and character. So my point is making sure that you find things that have character and things that you can take from whatever's surrounding you, and you can tie it into your landscape.
You're blending, so you're not like the house that looks like it doesn't even belong there. You know, I think it's really nice when you can use natural materials and just make things look a little bit more authentic. Then this next trend I absolutely love. It's just about play.
It's about play, and we always think about our kids, but now it's play spaces for all ages. And what's coming back now in a big way is the sport court. And what I mean by a sport court is where people are actually doing tennis courts, but at the same thing that they're putting a tennis court in, they have basketball nets that converts over into an ice rink in the winter, because, you know, we are Canadian. So making sure that we're designing a landscape that suits all our needs. So if you do have a family member or you have younger children, you should always make sure that you have room for play spaces. So when you're designing your landscape, there should be always an element of play in a landscape, because I'm all about getting your kids outdoors, getting them active, getting them involved. And also, I'm getting a little older, so I need to get fit too.
Yeah, it's good for all of us. And when we run around outside, they run around outside. They're supposed to be getting 90 minutes of heart-pumping activity a day. That's a lot if your kids are not involved in some kind of structured play. So throw them in the backyard like we did in the 70s.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be anything.
Get out there.
And it doesn't have to be anything big.
It doesn't have to be anything big. Just go play.
The driveway is a sport court.
Yes, it is.
If you just get some elements and you put a basketball net, all of a sudden, that driveway can become a sport court.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, next trend. We're talking about the outdoor room, and this can be as big and as beautiful as you want it to be now.
Yeah. So pool houses, anything from pergolas and anything out there from that you can usually take those inside elements and put them outdoors. So here's an example that looks like an inside room. That is indeed just really an extended sunroom that has open sides that also then goes over into the hot tub. You can see the next picture of that same room right into the hot tub. It has an outdoor TV. Something aspirational, but you're using the outdoors in. This is something that you see in Los Angeles all the time.
Yeah. So my question is, if we're in a you know, snowy, wintry city or rural Canada, can you do that?
100%. So the hot tub is something that's going to be used a lot in the winter months. So not just in the summer months. There's different things that you can do even to the flooring. So in the flooring now you can actually put heating. So making sure that when you walk on that outdoor room, the floor is heated underneath your feet.
That's good. That is nice. And that screen can come down.
Screen can come down and you can close it all off. There's many things, but you also got to remember about plumbing and all those other issues. You may have to shut that room off during the winter and phase it out as well. Okay, good to know. Formal edibles is the next trend we're going to talk about, and I know people have been into growing their own food. This has been something that's been very big for you, but now it's getting to a different level. It's formal. So yeah, making it look nice. So
Making it look beautiful.
yeah, the vegetable garden always has been a place that sometimes just looks utilitarian, so to speak. But now what you can do is you can start to make it look clean, make it look crisp, make it look like a part of a design feature of your property. Being in a raised bed there as well really minimizes the amount of work because it'll cut down on the weeding, and also you don't have to bend down as far. So
That's right.
Yeah, my back's getting sore, so now I'm like, bring that garden up to me.
Right.
But you can see with the pathways that are here, those pathways are about 2 feet. The gardens themselves are designed in a way that I can bend over, pick on both sides, so that way I don't have to climb into the garden.
That's right. Very true. Very functional. Finally, we are looking at big impact here when you use lighting.
Yeah, so I call it
light it up.
Yeah, light it up. Light up the night.
Yeah.
How many people here work all day and come home when it's dark?
Yeah.
A lot,
So many
right?
people do. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's make that space useful during the evening months as well.
And that's only a smattering of applause because they don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like that.
They don't like that. That's the reality. Because who wants to be in the winter? You get up, it's dark. You get home, it's dark. Make it so that your space is useful in the night and the lighting looks beautiful. We're actually going to show you some gorgeous lighting that you might want to consider. Now, lighting, you say, now that we're relying on LEDs, the price is actually coming down. Your lights are going to last for a very long time.
Right, so the cost of operating them is very affordable. This is by Alliance, which is an American made, so North American made. These come with a lifetime warranty. The lights themselves, put your face in front. Put your face like that, yeah. Do that little look there. You can see that Tracy.
Spooky.
But it's a warm light, so it's not that LED light that people think is that blue light. So it's a nice warm light. Also, they're Wi-Fi enabled, meaning that you can shut them on and off with your phone, but also based upon daylight time, so sunrise and sunset, they'll automatically come off. So that before we used to have that photo sensor, and then if the bush kind of grew over and blocked it out, then it was coming on. One section was coming on this time, another section was coming on that time. Now they're all integrated, so really affordable and just a really nice way to maximize your landscape. And if you're wondering, how much should you spend on lighting?
Yeah, how much?
Should be about 10% of the cost of your landscape.
Okay.
So if your landscape costs you, let's say, $30,000.
Make it 10% of that.
10%, which would be $3,000 in lighting.
I wonder if it's the same for interior decor. Do we say lighting should be about 10%?
I don't know. I'm an outside guy.
Yeah, I don't know either. I probably should know. I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds good.
I feel like it would sound about right.
It sounds good.
And then you're layering the lighting too, which I think is nice, which is why you need a plan.
And the other,
so you're not just throwing like one spotlight up in your big tree in your front yard. You've got a few along the driveway. You've got some, in the garden. How we profile our art inside is how you're profiling your garden outside.
And with lighting outdoors, it's also about safety. So some of the areas that you're lighting pathways, walkways to allow people to utilize that space to protect you from maybe somebody you don't want on your property. Yeah, and when you drive through a residential area and you see those homes that are lit up, is somebody going to really break into that house?
Hopefully not.
No.
Yeah.
But it makes a nice way to entertain outdoors, and in the wintertime with the snow, you can put filters on top of these.
Ooh.
So then all of a sudden you can make them green, you can make them red.
Yeah.
You can be the Griswolds to a whole larger level.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love it all year round. Frankie, thanks for that.
Thank
Now we're
you.
feeling inspired.